think there's been a huge amount of preparation for no deal going back for really a long time. If you think about it in phases, the first phase of very serious preparation for no deal ran from the autumn of 2018 through to running up to the 29th of March 2019. I described it in DEFRA, where I was at the time, as putting a virtual reality headset on the entire department to make sure that we just focused on making sure that the department was as prepared as possible with the systems in place, the policies in place. And there was a huge push at that point. There was another major effort of preparation for a potential no deal exit running up to the 31st of October 2019. With a very kind of planned and programmatic approach. And I think, although obviously we didn't leave without a deal at that point, it was clear that the government wasn't looking for a high alignment future relationship, and that a lot of the work that had been done, the systems, the policies, and crucially working with citizens and businesses to be ready for the future was actually going to be equally applicable, whatever the outcome of negotiations would be. So certainly when I left the civil service in the spring of this year, the expectation was that all of that work to test the systems, to make sure that everything was properly embedded, and to ensure that people were as prepared as possible for the future, all of that was ongoing.
So are people ready now? I mean, it seems that there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unease. Boris Johnson is saying, we need people now, we need firms now to prepare for a no deal. Well, people are saying they don't have the tools yet. They don't have the decisions they need to make their own plans.
So I think there's a number of factors. I mean, obviously, I was talking about what was happening at the beginning of 2020, when the expectation was that this year would very much be about a year of preparing, for using the transition period and preparing for our exit. Nobody knew at that point how much of everybody's bandwidth, from the civil servants, local government, but also, every person in the country, every business in the country, how much bandwidth was going to be taken up by COVID. So I think probably preparations that everyone's been able to make are less far advanced than they might have been. There is always, however much you prepare, there are always going to be unknowns. And so, the principle that you plan for what you can see and you prepare for what you can't see. So there is inevitably an element of that. And there are a lot of things which depend on decisions that have to be made by the EU, where for a variety of reasons, those decisions may not yet have been taken, partly because for as long as negotiations continue and people are throwing themselves into trying to reach a deal, the EU may decide not to take some of the decisions that will be associated